devotion, dedication. Also, you know, she's got maybe she's too humble to say, too modest to say, but she's got a great fighting spirit, no doubt. You know, she's a warrior, goes out there and, you know, doesn't give a single game. Actually, she has probably the most bagels of anyone in women's tennis.
In a world where every tennis player is chasing greatness, certain moments stand out as game changers. For Coco Gauff, one of the brightest stars in tennis today, a pivotal moment came when Novak Djokovic, often hailed as the greatest of all time, invited her to train with him in preparation for the 2026 season. While this may seem like just another piece of news in the ever-evolving world of tennis, it has sparked something far deeper: tension. The invitation, aimed at elevating Coco's game and preparing her for the next Grand Slam season, sent shockwaves through the tennis world, especially for one particular player, Aryna Sabalenka. Sabalenka, who has long been a dominant force in women's tennis, suddenly finds herself in a precarious situation. As she prepares for an exhibition match at the Battle of the Sexes, a contest where she'll be showcasing her skills in a less competitive environment, Coco Gauff is working tirelessly with Novak Djokovic, sharpening her technique and readying herself for the 2026 season. The contrast between their preparations could not be starker, and it has left Sabalenka feeling threatened. The question arises: will Gauff, under Djokovic's expert guidance, surpass Sabalenka in the rankings, ultimately stealing her coveted spot at the top?
It speaks about how seriously and professionally she's taking every single point and game on the court. So that's very admirable. I really like that kind of champion spirit and mindset.
It is no secret that Novak Djokovic's mentorship has been invaluable to the careers of many players, both male and female. His discipline, his unparalleled work ethic, and his ability to read the game have made him a natural mentor. So, when Djokovic invited Coco Gauff to join him in training for the 2026 season, the tennis world took notice. The invitation was not just an offer for a few practice sessions. It was a statement that Djokovic believed in Gauff's potential to dominate the sport. For Gauff, who is just entering her prime, the opportunity to train with one of the greatest players in tennis history is nothing short of a dream come true. Djokovic's decision to invest time and energy into helping her improve her game speaks volumes. In a sport where the mental aspect often determines the difference between success and failure, having Djokovic's support and guidance could prove to be the edge that Coco needs to break through in a big way. Djokovic's belief in Gauff's potential goes beyond mere words. He has publicly stated that he is sure Gauff is going to dominate the 2026 season. For Gauff, these words are not just encouraging, they are a validation of her hard work and determination. With a tennis icon like Djokovic backing her, Gauff can now push herself to new heights, armed with the belief that she is capable of anything. This is not just a partnership based on technical coaching, it's about mindset, confidence, and vision for the future. As the 2026 season draws near, Gauff is already in the midst of refining every aspect of her game. From improving her serve to fine-tuning her footwork and adjusting her mental approach to the game, she is leaving no stone unturned. With Djokovic's insight, Gauff is not just preparing for the season, she is preparing to win, to conquer the Grand Slams, and to stake her claim as one of the best in the world. It is clear that Djokovic sees something special in Gauff, and he is doing everything he can to ensure that she is ready to take on the challenge of becoming the face of women's tennis in 2026.
You know, devotion, dedication. Also, you know, she's got maybe she's too humble to say, too modest to say, but she's got a great fighting spirit, no doubt. You know, she's a warrior, goes out there and, you know, doesn't give a single game. Actually, she has probably the most bagels of anyone in women's tennis.
While Coco Gauff is gearing up for the season ahead, Sabalenka is facing a different reality. Instead of focusing on the technical aspects of her game, Sabalenka has found herself distracted by the upcoming exhibition match at the Battle of the Sexes. While this match is undoubtedly an important event, it does not carry the same weight as preparing for the competitive grind of the regular season and the Grand Slams. Sabalenka's attention seems to be divided, and it has led her to question her trajectory moving forward. For a player like Sabalenka, who has worked tirelessly to reach the top, the thought of slipping from her position as the world's #1 can be daunting. Sabalenka's reign at the top has been hard-earned, and the prospect of Gauff, under the guidance of Djokovic, usurping her place is a bitter pill to swallow. It is clear that Sabalenka is beginning to feel the pressure as the tides of tennis begin to shift in Coco's favor.
The way that she played to win, directed traffic, hit every ball.
Sabalenka's panic is real. She sees Gauff, a player she once viewed as a peer, rapidly improving under the mentorship of one of the greatest players of all time. Gauff is not just getting ready for the 2026 season, she is positioning herself to become a major contender for the Grand Slam titles, and Sabalenka knows it. The thought of losing her spot at the top of the rankings to Gauff is a fear that has begun to consume Sabalenka, and it's affecting her mindset as she enters the next phase of her career. The tennis world is one of constant change, where players rise and fall, and rankings can shift in an instant. Sabalenka, who has long been a dominant force, is now facing a new challenge, a rising star who is being groomed by one of the greatest players to ever step onto the court. It's a challenge that Sabalenka is struggling to accept. As Sabalenka grapples with the possibility of losing her top spot, Coco Gauff is quietly but confidently climbing the ranks. Under Novak Djokovic's expert guidance, Gauff is transforming her game in ways that are both subtle and profound. Every aspect of her play is being scrutinized, refined, and improved. Gauff is not just a powerful player with a strong serve. She is becoming a player with a deep understanding of the game, a player who can adapt and evolve to meet the challenges of the world's best. What makes Gauff's rise even more remarkable is the fact that she is doing it with the support of one of the most respected figures in tennis history. Djokovic is not only helping her fine-tune her technique, but is also instilling in her the mindset required to succeed at the highest levels of the sport. With Djokovic's mentorship, Gauff is poised to take her game to new heights, and the 2026 season could very well be the year that she makes her mark as one of the best players in the world. The contrast between Gauff and Sabalenka's preparations is stark. While Gauff is immersing herself in the technical and mental aspects of the game, Sabalenka seems distracted by events that are not directly related to the upcoming season. This discrepancy in focus is evident to anyone watching from the outside, and it could have serious implications for both players' futures in the sport. As Gauff continues to work with Djokovic, it becomes increasingly clear that she is positioning herself to be a dominant force in women's tennis. With each passing day, her game becomes sharper, her confidence grows, and her ability to compete at the highest level becomes undeniable. Gauff is not just preparing for the next season. She is preparing for a future filled with Grand Slam victories and tennis greatness. The reality of Gauff's rising trajectory is something that Sabalenka is struggling to accept. For years, Sabalenka has enjoyed the comfort of being at the top, with little competition threatening her place. But now, with Coco Gauff coming up fast, that sense of security is rapidly fading. Sabalenka is watching as Gauff, a player she once viewed as a potential rival, becomes a legitimate contender for the top spot in the rankings. Sabalenka's struggle is not just one of competition, it is one of identity. As a player who has worked so hard to reach the pinnacle of the sport, the thought of losing that top spot is difficult to bear. Sabalenka's pride, her self-image as the world's best, is on the line. The prospect of Gauff surpassing her is not just a professional challenge, it is a personal one. Sabalenka's panic is a reflection of the deep-seated fear that she might not be able to hold on to the dominance she has worked so hard to achieve. The resistance Sabalenka feels toward this change is natural. No athlete wants to see their reign end, especially when they have worked so hard to get to the top. But tennis, like all sports, is a game of evolution. New players emerge, old players fade, and the landscape of the sport constantly shifts. Sabalenka is now facing the reality that her time at the top might be coming to an end, and she is having a hard time accepting that. As we approach the 2026 season, the landscape of women's tennis is poised for a major shift. Coco Gauff, under the guidance of Novak Djokovic, is preparing to take on the Grand Slams with a renewed focus and a sharpened game. Meanwhile, Aryna Sabalenka is left grappling with the fear of losing her top spot, watching as a new generation of players, led by Gauff, emerges as the future of the sport. The dynamic between these two players is one of intense rivalry, with Gauff's rise threatening Sabalenka's dominance. Sabalenka may not be ready to accept this shift in the rankings, but the truth is that tennis is an ever-evolving sport, and the next generation is always ready to take its place. As Djokovic's support for Gauff becomes clearer and her trajectory continues to rise, it seems inevitable that Gauff will play a major role in shaping the future of women's tennis in 2026. And while Sabalenka may be in panic mode now, the real question is whether she can adapt to the changes coming her way, or if she will be left behind as a new tennis titan takes the lead. What do you think about the impact of Novak Djokovic's mentorship on Coco Gauff's career? Do you believe this partnership will propel her to the top in 2026? How do you feel about the growing rivalry between Gauff and Sabalenka? Will Sabalenka be able to handle the pressure of maintaining her top spot? Or is it time for a new tennis star to take over? How important is the support from tennis legends like Djokovic when it comes to shaping the future of a player's career? Do you think the dynamics in women's tennis are shifting? And if so, what does this mean for the future of the sport? Let us know your thoughts.